古乐迷们，大家好，欢迎来到微光的欧洲古乐巡礼特辑。微光呢，于2024年的夏季展开了一段别具意义的旅程，在欧洲的博物馆、古教堂还有古堡的协助和邀请下，我们去实际踏访，并拍摄记录那些曾经见证西方音乐历史至今仍屹立不摇的100年历史管风琴。这些历史的管风琴不只是音乐史上的留声机，它更是记录了人类曾经辉煌一世的时代。首站我们在北欧凉爽的7月雨中来到了哥本哈根北方的希勒勒市，走进一座宛如从历史深处走出的宫殿——丹麦文艺复兴的建筑瑰宝腓特烈堡的城堡。而今日的影片，我们就从这座城堡的礼拜堂开始，由腓特烈堡的管风琴家 Ulla Handler 为我们介绍这一台北方音乐史的宝钻。
Welcome to Castle Frederiksborg. I'm sitting here in the castle chapel, and I'm just sitting at the bench to one of the most intriguing music instruments in the entire music history, the Compenius Organ. We simply just call it the Compenius organ because the organ builder, Esaias Compenius, this is his only instrument left. And actually it is the oldest organ in the world still in original condition. There are older organs in the world, but not as very well preserved as this. This is just wonderful. Everything is original. We have the original mean tone temperament, and the pipes has not been changed at all, or nothing has been removed from the instrument. The story is that this Danish princess, after her husband had died, she did not want to play the instrument anymore, and therefore she decided that it should go to his brother, King Christian IV of Denmark, and be placed here in the chapel that he has just built. And so we're very lucky and we're very happy here at Frederiksborg that we still have this wonderful instrument. The organ is a kind of love token because it is a gift from dedicated husband to his wife. The husband was Hertog Heinrich Julius of Braunschweig-Wolfenbüttel, a German duke who was married to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth was a Danish princess. This is way back. The organ was built in 1610. It was placed here in Castle Frederiksborg in 1617. But the organ was built, it was started in 1605, and it took about 5 years to build it.
这里的礼拜堂被誉为北方的西斯丁大教堂，壮丽的心形拱顶与布满图腾的天花板，就像是一场视觉还有建筑的艺术盛宴。
This organ was built at a time where it was so very important for dukes to communicate in pictures. That means when looking at this wonderful prospect, you see that the Duke knew quite a lot about Greek mythology. The ornamentation here was it was quite common at the time. We have Venus and Cupid here at the right side with golden ornamentation all over. You see Cupid is leaning over Venus. At the other, Mercury playing the sink. Mercury is very easy to recognize because he has these wings on his helmet. And just at the top we have these two putti playing the flute. Here, Principal 4, voice, one of the most carrying voices in the entire instrument, so to say. All the pipes in the organ are made of wood. And wooden organs was a very common thing in Southern Europe just around 1600. It was not so common in the Northern Europe. You might say that Michael Pretorius was a counselor when building the organ. He was a conductor at the chapel of the German Duke, and he was very good friend with Esaias Compenius, and maybe those two had talked about building a wooden organ, just like you see it in the Southern European tradition, and then decided that they would have a wooden organ, but it should be with a northern voice, because the sounds in the organ are quite clear, wonderful and light, just as here in the north.
这些古乐器，它们记录了人类声音的变迁，也让我们得以重新理解文艺复兴时期的音乐语法和古欧洲极致的工艺美学。
Talking about the importance by dukes with their communication in pitches, it is so wonderful to have a look at all these stops at the organ. 27 stops in such a quite small organ cabinet. That's quite a thing. It is a witness of great handcraftsmanship. You see the wonderful stops here, 27, and we have lions' heads, women's heads, men's heads. The lions have a ring in their mouths. The women have jewelry on their forehead. The men have jewelry on their ears, earrings, and they have crowns. Very, very strong symbols, everything for a court. Also, you see that the men, they have pointed ears. And who is it walking about in the woods with pointed ears? Of course, that is Pan, the forest god, you might call him. He's playing his syrinx, and syrinx was that nymph in the Greek. We know the Metamorphoses by Ovid, where we have the story about the nymph Syrinx, who Pan was very much in love with, and she did not want anything to do with him, but she could not escape him, and therefore she changed herself into a reed. And perhaps therefore Pan now feels very well among the reeden pipes and the wooden pipes. The pieces I was just playing was written by Hans-Leo Hasler, this wonderful southern German music personality who was not only a composer, he was also a financial counselor with a great Fugger family living in Augsburg. He has written some wonderful tunes. He was some interpolations here. I was playing was Hans-Leo Hasler's original melody. The tune is called Mein Gemüt ist mir verwirret, and it was such a beloved tune that when Paul Gerhardt wrote his Kirchenlied, Befiehl du deine Wege, he decided that should go to Mein Gemüt ist mir verwirret, and since then we have used it in the Northern European church tradition. I played that on the Kronborn 8, here the Dulcian 8, which is a stop here. Also, this organ has a rarity cabinet, you might call it. We have two special stops here. The first one here is shaped like an owl. And it is a kind of drum. You can hear it. It is tuned in C. And you can use it as a drum. because then you need to play in C all the time. And here at the other side, we have a kind of joker that is a face, donkey ears, and a mushroom shell on the head.
欧洲历史管风琴的存在，就像是封存的时光胶囊一样。许多乐器因为战火改装，或者是因为流行风潮而消逝，但仍有极少数，像是腓特烈城堡这座城堡，成为他们最后的庇护所。